Alright guys, welcome back to my channel and once again, welcome to Sunshine State, Queensland. This is the fourth time we're at the exact spot recording some videos. Welcome to the beautiful Cleveland Point, but unlike last two times when it was only sunny and peaceful, this time it was sunny but also quite windy, and as a result, you are probably going to see some waves in the background. So enjoy the beautiful scene. Anyway, as promised in the last week, I'm going to bring an update about my fat loss progress in the last week to you guys. So without further ado, let me first put the table which reflected what I've done in the last week to you guys as reference. So as you can see, in this table, there are 5 different columns. So obviously the first one is going to be the date, which started from last Sunday and ended on today, which is Saturday. The second column is my morning weigh-in result after the defecation. Obviously, I have to wake up in the morning and use the bathroom first to empty myself and jump on the scale. That's probably the most accurate result you can weigh yourself, as opposed to just wake up first thing in the morning and jump on the scale. Sometimes you can contain a lot of stuff in your stomach, so to speak. The third column is going to be whether I've done 1 hour of fasted cardio in the morning. On a side note, if you want to know the true benefit of what fast cardio can really bring to you, actually I've done another video before, so you can click on this link to find out the true benefit of fast cardio. On the fourth column, it's going to be whether I've done 1 hour of cardio at night. Sometimes I may choose to do 1 extra hour of cardio at night. I normally don't do that, but as you can see in this week, I've done a lot of extra cardio. On the fifth column, it's going to be my weight training. So as I've told you guys before, my weight training schedule is not going to change so much. It's still going to be 3 times full body in the gym, and every time the session is going to run about 120 minutes. So let's start from last Sunday, which was 5th of October. So I woke up in the morning and after visiting the bathroom, I weighed myself. My weight was 89.7 kilos. After that, I did 1 hour of fasted cardio in the morning, as you can see. Going to the night, I didn't do anything, no cardio, no weight training. The truth was, I was editing the last 2 videos I released in last week, so I didn't have any time to do any training at night. So fast forward to a Monday, 6th of October. In here, last Monday was a public holiday, which is, I think, called is King's birthday. I think that's probably the correct term for it. It's not his birthday, but we celebrate anyway. But okay, back to my Monday morning. So I woke up and after visiting the bathroom, I weighed myself again on the scale. This time it was 89.5 kilos, which compared to the Sunday result, it was a 0.2 kilo drop. So because it was a public holiday, I had enough time to do 1 hour faster cardio training in the morning, and also, as you can see, another session of a weight training at night. And also because it was a public holiday, I was able to train early, finish my day early, and wake up very early again on Tuesday morning and weigh myself again. But this time, as you can see, my weight didn't drop on Tuesday morning. It actually increased from 89.5 kilos to 90.3 kilos. I wasn't worried so much, to be honest, but you may be worried for some guys that are too sensitive to this kind of your weight number. But anyway, on Tuesday I did 1 hour faster cardio in the morning again, as you can see, and on Tuesday night, as you can see, I did another hour of cardio at night. So I did 2 hours of cardio on Tuesday. Let's move on. So Wednesday morning, I woke up early again, and yes, I weighed myself again. This time my weight was 89.4 kilos, which was a 0.9 kilos drop from Tuesday morning result. So can I lose 0.9 kilos of body fat within 1 day? Obviously not. That's why I wasn't so worried back on Tuesday morning. But as you can see, on Wednesday morning I did another hour fasted cardio, And moving on to Wednesday night, I did my second session of weight training. So then, as you can see, moving on to Thursday, uh, as I trained very late on Wednesday night, I couldn't wake up early on Thursday morning and use the bathroom and weigh myself. That's why you're going to see that on Thursday morning I didn't weigh myself, but on Thursday night I did do 1 hour of cardio. So yes, there's some training on Thursday. Let's move on to Friday. So Friday morning, well, I woke up early again, and yes, I used the bathroom and weighed myself again. This time it was 89.2 kilos. And as usual, I did another hour fasted cardio in the morning, and yes, when I finished my work uh, at night, I did another weight training session which lasted 2 hours. And so this morning, Saturday morning, which is 11th of October, I woke up not so early because it was Saturdays. I was allowed to sleep extra few hours. I trust you guys. Most of you guys do that just the same as me. So yes, this morning I woke up at about 7 o'clock, and yes, after using the bathroom, I jumped on the scale and weighed myself again. This morning my weight is 88.6 kilos, and after that I did another hour fasted cardio in the morning. I can tell you guys just for now, I'm definitely not going to do any weight training or cardio training at night. Not a chance for me. I've done enough training for this week. So let's do a quick sum up of what I've done in terms of my weekly cardio for the last 7 days. As you can see, in total, I've done about 8 hours of cardio training, which is definitely very excessive compared to my normal weekly cardio training volume. Normally, I would only do 2 hours of fasted cardio on weekdays and another 2 hours of fasted cardio on weekends, which in total is only 4 hours. But this week, I did 8 hours. Well, because there was one public holiday, it did allow me to put in a bit of more time in weight training and also cardio training as well. So, and also the total weight loss result, as you can see, it was about 1.1 kilos, which sort of fits in the range I mentioned to you guys in last week. I was presuming that I should be able to lose more than 0.5 kilos within a week. Actually, I predicted that I should be able to lose probably like more than 1 kilos within a week. So I achieved that in last week, which I was very happy. Well, I am very happy about it. But on top of that, I probably want to also probably mention another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other 5 points to you guys about yes. So what I want to talk about in terms of a fat loss generally. So one thing is going to be my morning weigh-ins. So as you can see, this week I did a lot of morning weigh-ins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there were 6 days I was able to do my morning weigh-ins. But I can tell you guys that moving on, I'm definitely not going to be able to weigh myself so many times in the morning because I generally do my weight training on Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday night. That means generally I'm unable to wake up early the next day, the next morning, which means that generally on Monday and on Wednesday I couldn't do my morning weigh-ins, except for Saturday. Saturday morning I can wake up late and still weigh myself in the morning. Obviously, you guys know that it's a weekend. So generally for me, I can only provide my Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday morning weigh-ins. So moving on, my morning weigh-ins the frequency is going to decrease, but still I'm going to do it consistently. So don't worry about I only just weigh myself 2 times within a week. Never going to happen like that. The second point, I think I've just mentioned that my weekly cardio volume. Obviously, you guys know that I'm super big on cardio training. I've mentioned many times that not doing cardio is going to kill your gains on this channel. But generally, even I'm super big on cardio, I would only do probably about 4 hours in a week. So 2 hours on weekdays and 2 hours on weekends. It's not going to be like 8 hours like this week. Moving on. So probably I'm going to say that my fat loss result in the next week is not going to be as good as this week, but I'm fairly conservative on my estimation. As long as I can lose more than 0.5 kilos in a week, I'm happy about the progress. So that's the second point I want to talk about. The third point I want to talk about is the weight training. So as I mentioned before, my weight training schedule is not going to change so much. It's still going to be 3 times a full body split in the gym, and every session is going to last about 120 minutes. So nothing is going to change just in terms of my training split and training frequency. But I can tell you guys that although this is like the first week of my fat loss progress, I can already feel like there's a bit of a stretch just in terms of recovery on some of my super high volume muscle groups. You guys are going to know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about probably my brachioradialis and the brachialis. These two muscle groups, I'm training them at the weekly volume for these two muscle groups are probably going to be in excess of 30 sets. And I can tell you that yes, although this is like the first week of my fat loss progress, I'm already feeling a bit of stretch on these two muscle groups recovery already. So what I want to say is that a caloric surplus does help you with your recovery much more than what you give credit for. So yes, if you guys want to get big, I seriously recommend you go on the bulk. I was on a bulk very long time before this fat loss. So yes, if you want to get big, you have to go on a bulk. But also just something else I want to mention is that because I'm a high reps guy, so I'm not so super focused on the absolute weight I can lift. As long as I can get a good pump in the gym, and also just push myself hard on like certain sets, 1 or 2 sets, like within one body part, I'm happy, and I think generally it's going to preserve my muscle mass as the way I expect. So yes, that's what I want to talk about my weight training. But rest assured that definitely my weight training method and also my weight training volume is going to change as I go deeper into my fat loss phase. So that's the third point I want to talk about. The fourth point I want to talk about is what I call it is a caloric cycling. What I mean by that, let me just elaborate it by using like 3 different examples, of my normal eating days and my weight training days and also my non-weight training days. So let me elaborate on that. So back to a few weeks ago when I was still in my bulking phase, I would eat 3 main meals plus 2 side meals plus 1 intra-workout nutrition. Now, what I mean by side meals, when I mean side meals, it generally means it's going to be a meal that is not carefully prepared or carefully cooked. So generally it's going to be like a low-fat Greek yogurt and some fruits, say like oranges or my favorite, a grapefruit. Or if you're living in Australia, I can recommend that probably the best version of low-fat Greek yogurt is going to be a Chobani. I know it doesn't taste very good, but trust me, it's probably the best version of low-fat Greek yogurt you can find on the market. So that's what I mean by side meals. And in some instances, if I want to go even simpler than that, I would probably just drink 2 glasses of milk. Yes, you can count 2 glasses of milk as a 1 side meal. That's so. And so that's what I mean by my normal, like during my bulking phase, what my eating is going to be. So generally I will eat probably 6 meals within a day. So compared to now, which I'm in fat loss phase, I can tell you that on my weight training days, my eating is not going to change so much. It's still going to be like 3 main meals plus 1 to 2 side meals. I may deduct probably 1 side meal, but not 2 side meals. It's definitely still going to be 1 side meal, and plus still my intra-workout nutrition. As I mentioned like in last week's video, I'm definitely not going to remove any calories contained within my intra-workout nutrition. Okay, you guys can refer back to my previous video to understand why intra-workout nutrition is so important for your muscle growth. So that means that even in my fat loss phase, on my weight training days, my daily caloric consumption is still going to remain very high. But on my non-weight training days, I'm only going to eat 2 main meals. So I'm going to cut 1 main meal off. And also, depending on the circumstances, I may only have 1 side meal or still 2 side meals tops. But that means I'm going to cut probably 1 to 2 meals of my daily consumption. So compared to my weight training days, my non-weight training days calorie is definitely going to decrease. So which is going to create a caloric cycling. That's what I mean by caloric cycling, because I do think that because you are in a fat loss phase, so you cannot consume as many calories as you could compared to a bulking phase. That means you use your calories more, how do I say, more intelligently. So you have to circle your caloric consumption around your weight training time, feed into the muscle so that your muscle can grab more nutrients when the time matters most, which is during your weight training time. So that's what I want to mention about the caloric cycling, which is the 4th point. The last point I want to mention is going to be weight fluctuation. So as you guys can see that on last Tuesday, my weight jumped from 89.5 kilos to 90.3 kilos, which was a 0.8 kilos of a weight increase. That may be a big surprise to a lot of you guys. You may think that, oh, I've done something wrong in this day. I've eaten too much, or I've just done something wrong. But to me, that's really not a big worry to me, because in my eyes, as long as my weight, it's a steady decrease, like over the long term. If that's going to happen, like any short-term increase to me is really not a big deal, because like there can be multiple reasons to account for this. For example, you could have just ingested a bit more salt, so which resulted in more water retention. Or sometimes it could be just like your muscles, they have contained more glycogen during the training, as I mentioned, because I'm very big on a intra-workout nutrition, which means that during my workout, my muscles are going to absorb a lot of sugar from my intra-workout nutrition, and as a result, it can be like a lot of glycogen is going to be stored in my muscle mass. That's going to result in your weight increase as well. So there could be multiple reasons to account for this kind of weight fluctuation, and it could also even be that my body was just still body recompositioning at this point, because my fat mass was a lot. So it's actually, there could be some of my fat mass was used to fuel the muscle growth. So that can happen as well. That's why I wasn't worried at all on Tuesday morning when my weight increased by 0.8 kilos. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed, because it wasn't like going steady day in, day out. But yeah, if it's like not in the end in this week, okay, so I managed to lose 1.1 kilos, which is very good result by anybody's estimation. So yes, that's what I want to talk about what happened to me in this week, just in terms of my fat loss progress. And as you guys can see, I probably look at much cleaner and leaner compared to last week. So all in all, I'm very happy with the progress I've made in the first week, and let's going to see what's going to happen in next week. I anticipate it's probably going to be around about, let's see whether my prediction is going to be correct. I estimate next week I'm going to lose about probably, let's say, 0.7 kilos. 0.7 kilos. Let's put a flag there and check it again in a week's time, and hopefully I'm going to be right about this figure. If I can exceed this 0.7 kilos of fat loss, I'll be happy. But anyway, hopefully you have enjoyed this video, and please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to watch my previous videos, let me just give you a link out there. I think this is a link for my fat loss series. I do think this is probably the best fat loss topic series you can find on the whole internet. Anyway, thank you very much for your support, and I will see you next week, hopefully at the same spot again. Peace out.